ban them all. Delaney, ace-jack suited in the big, so Bigot has just called here, Nick. And when Delaney raises, and I mean that, when he raises, what is Bigot's plan? 30 bigs.
Oh, it's really, really interesting here, James. I think ace-7 might be a good candidate to limp raise with as a bit of a bluff with a blocker. But I mean, honestly, ace-8, ace-9, you could even just limp jam ace, like those kinds of combinations against an aggressive opponent in the big blind. I am somewhat concerned Bigot is going to take this somewhere because, honestly, it's one of those spots where you can definitely pick up some chips at non-showdown pre-flop. He could also just limp call. That's completely reasonable, too. But ace-7 off doesn't have great playability post-flop, James, and therefore many good players will choose to use it as a hand to bluff with. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Yep, as expected, there was a raise. I think probably there's no need for it to actually be a full check jam, though. I really appreciate the fact this is a raise, not all in, because I think it has just as much power as a shove at this point.
Yeah, Bigot does not rip it, makes it 1.8 million total. And how does Delaney respond? Call, play a flop in position?
You know what, honestly, this is not an easy spot. I think ace-jack suited should just be a push pre-flop now. If you think your opponent is capable of these moves and Bigot is so capable, then you're just going to have the best hand way too often, especially given the sort of limp raise nature of the hand. Now, we're on a final table. Ace-jack suited plays very well in position. A call is completely reasonable as well. He's not folding. That's what I'm saying, guys. I just think maybe he's supposed to be pushing as opposed, excuse me, to just flatting and allowing his opponent to catch up on the flop, turn river.
It's 1.8 total, right?
Okay, looks like a call.
Yes.
Yep, seems good. You have absolute position. You have a very playable hand. This is totally fair. I think obviously also just pushing into kings or something like that at that point on the final table and giving up such a big portion of your tournament life would be super painful, so you can really see where his head is at here.
So 3.8 million in the pot as we go to the flop. Ace-7 versus ace-jack. Ace in the window, and it is ace-king-10, all spades. So Delaney the favorite here. Bigot does have the 7 high flush draw.
Oh, this is such an ugly one, you guys. Bigot's got to be pretty happy with his hand at this point. He's not going to know if his spade is any good, but blind v blind, one spade will give you the best hand quite frequently if it does come a spade, turn, or river. Delaney, having played his hand a little bit more cautiously pre-flop, does hit a board that he's going to like some of the time, but could still be running into 10s, could still be running into kings, could still be running into ace-king. Bigot slows down. 3.8 in the middle, 4.5 is the effective stack behind Bigot. Two checks. Bigot looking for a spade or a 7 to improve. 8 of hearts, no change.
So Delaney now roughly a 2-1 favorite.
Such a weird dynamic here, James. Such a weird spot. Pot is already so inflated. SPR just slightly more than 1.
So Bigot checks for a second time. Delaney can't check this back again.
You know what? I think you might be right, James. He's going to be cautious on the flop because he could be, getting trapped by ace-king, pocket kings, pocket aces, pocket 10s. But at this point, would your opponent really miss the opportunity to bet any of those combos? Would they really give another free card when there's 3 spades on board, for example? Very frequently not going to want to see another spade with some of those sets. I think the time is now. 3.8 in the middle. Don't have to bet big, but you do want to punish some of those draws that are still in there, absolutely.
$1.2 million, the delayed c-bet from Delaney.
So a little bit less than 1/3. Really appreciate this sizing. Given the action, still plenty of combinations you get value from here that really don't have a ton of equity. I don't think Bigo can get away at this point. His spade still might be live, absolutely. Plus he has a top pair. I mean, making top pair in this game is already very difficult.
Correction, not a delayed C-bet. Of course, Bigot was
Thank you. Sorry.
Player with the pre-flop betting lead.
Thank you,
My
James.
bad.
Sorry.
I mean, if Bigo calls here, this is set up perfectly for an all-in on the river. And Bigot does call.
Yeah, there's no chance he can fold, especially given how passively he's played flop and turn. Could just have the best hand. Still has significant equity if his opponent doesn't have the spade draw. So doesn't want to go too crazy.
Looking for a 7 or a spade. But it's the 10 of clubs, and it's going to be a chop.
That's if it makes it to showdown. It's hard for it not to go to showdown at this point,
Oh,
though,
it's going to
right?
go check, check
It's going to
now.
go check, check, isn't it?
Oh, what a waste of 4 minutes.
Oh, wow. Honestly, what an interesting spot, too. Just such a weird chop on the river. It's not always a promise it's going to go down that way, but it seems very likely given the action thus far.
All in.
Oh, wow. Maybe it will not be a chop as Bigot decides to shove and Delaney has to decide whether to call.
Wow. This is such a weird situation. Put those cards out there, buddy. Have a think. I think we know who hates a chop pot. His name is Fabrice Bigot, who's all in on this river.
I don't understand. Can I get a count, please?
Delaney does not understand. Delaney wants a count.
Where's 9 big blinds? Where's the 10x? Pocket ace is a limp jam. Pocket 10's on back raise, right?
Yep.
And if they do the check river, because I can have bluffs.
Yep. Absolutely. He's got it all.
But like, who bluffs like this, ever?
Exactly.
Pocket really checking twice?
He's trying to push for a chop.
I don't understand how I lose.
In that case, make the call.
Pocket aces don't shove because, you know. Pocket king just bet flop.
Loving the logic.
He's got it all. He's got it figured out.
There's no way you limp raise like some 10-7 suited. It's just unreasonable.
10.
This is the first time that. Okay, thank you. I don't understand. Like, if you have value, like, you know I'm a blaster, why would you not check?
You know I'm a blaster. Master blaster.
Like, how can you have a 10? You don't do this with ace 10. You don't do this with king 10. You don't do this with 10-8. You don't do this with queen 10, jack 10, 10-9. 10-9 suited, then this would be ridiculous.
10.
Like, it's free. 3.3 total.
I went from loving this hand to hating this hand to loving this hand. He makes the call. And this is a chop pot. You know what they say? Everyone loves a chop pot.
And that's what I figured it would end up being, but like, I mean,
Oh, Delaney, I love this guy.
Like once in a lifetime, Jam.
yeah. But also, you are preventing me from bluffing.
Am I?
I mean, have you not seen any of the hands I've played? Have you not seen the hands I've been playing? That was a dramatic chop pot.
Yes, it was. And I'm here for it.
I mean,
Hand, guys.
should we get Delaney in the booth? He did a great job of explaining everything that we did. That was fantastic stuff. Love the breakdown. I think he really aces a lot of that analysis.
Good thought process.
Sorry?
Good thought process.
Thank you.
Pappy Pope 123 says stop talking OMG. Tell you what, Pappy, why don't you follow your own advice? You're banned.
I need 57 of them.
A good thought process. I agree, sir. Absolutely cool. Absolutely fantastic to see Brian Delaney going through it there, going through the opportunities, the situations, the spots that he knows, the hands he knows he
Ask him
can't
how to
have.
do it. He seems to be much better than me.